Hey guys, what is up? It's Dusty here, and welcome back to another crypto video. Today, there is quite a lot going on in the crypto space. You guys most likely all saw Bitcoin and altcoins recover a little bit earlier today. Right now, prices are falling a little bit down again, but generally speaking, this push upwards was what a lot of people needed to keep their faith in crypto. So I really enjoyed it. But having said that, one of the first pieces of content for today is right here. Cointelegraph tweeted out, Elon Musk is catching flack again. But what is it for this time? Signia CEO Magda Wierzika lambasted him, saying, "What we have seen with Bitcoin is price manipulation by one very powerful and influential individual." And of course, I had to read the article and open the article for myself, in case it gets edited or something happens to it. I usually open these articles like a snap like that, but I, in this case, opened it about 40 minutes or so after Elon Musk tweeted this out. And what Elon Musk tweeted was this: what you're writing right here is inaccurate. Tesla only sold about 10% of holdings to confirm Bitcoin could be liquidated easily without moving the market. When there is a confirmation of reasonable, which means about 50% or more, clean energy usage by miners with positive future trend, Tesla will resume allowing Bitcoin transactions. And what that is doing right here is, in my opinion, further market manipulation, as you can already tell what people will do if he tweets out something like this, right? But objectively, what he has done here is basically rectify some of the accusations made against him. What is basically accused, or him accused of, you guys know what I mean, is that he bought Bitcoin, then praised it to craziness, price went up, they sold some, and he started to bash it again, or what like some are saying, give his true opinion on the matter after selling it for a ton of profit. Now, I would personally like to say that's pretty dumb. If they didn't sell 100% of the coins, that would be kind of a waste of bread. If you were to ask me, if he all of a sudden bashes it, you'd rather sell everything first. And also, yeah, no, I mean, Elon Musk has definitely been manipulating. Then again, we might still also consider, or have to consider, that he just kind of feels when the market is about to move a certain direction, and he goes with the flow to make sure that it feels as if he has a lot of power. Well, in the end, we don't actually know if Elon Musk is able to move the Bitcoin market significantly. Doge and Shiba Inu, all those coins, yes, very much so. But Bitcoin? Well, we know that he might be able to help out the effect, for example, the bearish pressure or bullish pressure, but can he himself cause a downtrend or a short-term downtrend, even for that matter, for Bitcoin? I'm not sure about that. I'm not sure if his manipulation powers, that people call it, are actually that significant. And let's quickly actually check if they changed or deleted the article within time now. Let's just quickly see if it's been edited. No, it's still actually, oh, maybe it refreshes automatically. Not sure. I'm just going to assume here it's not been edited now. Let's quickly see, just in a little quick overview, to see if anything is significantly different. No, we don't see anything. No. It's looking exactly the same. At least for me it is. So they probably didn't really care about what Elon Musk has been saying. Nor does he really, I guess, he calls him out for saying it's not true. Not exactly which part. But yeah, a lot of people also called him out for saying that Bitcoin is already at least 70% or so clean energy, but I don't want to get too far into that debate. Now, one of the guys, Peter Schiff, said, "It's easy to dump Bitcoin when you're pumping up the price and suckering in buyers with market manipulating tweets. Bitcoin transactions were just a gimmick anyway to create the false impression that Bitcoin can function as either a viable medium of exchange or unit of account." We've had this discussion before. I personally think it is a good one, and some people say it is or isn't, whatever. Now, once more, guys, looking at it from this perspective here, Bitcoin is finally getting a little bit of a break from all this negativity over the last week or so, and finally a Sunday without a heavy red candle. It's good for a change, it's when you see so many red candles every single Sunday, it feels really good if you see a huge pump happening on a day like that. It's just something fun to me just to kind of witness that. Bitcoin to get a network upgrade after 4 years. We were talking about this in the live stream a little bit. It's just, again, Bitcoin getting a little bit of an upgrade. It's called Taproot. Is the most, again, in their own words, significant improvement to Bitcoin protocol in years. And it now has enough mining support for an upgrade. So, well, we're going to see that coming in, which I think is rather interesting. Okay, one thing I should quickly say here, guys, is if you are enjoying these daily crypto videos, make sure you press the like button right now just to help out the channel a little bit. And I do also think that if you are enjoying this type of stuff, it might be smart to subscribe to the channel, right? It might really be smart to do that because then you're notified every single time that something happens or there's some new news in the crypto space. Bitcoin's bear market is ending. Bitcoin has fallen by about half since its high earlier this year. That's not pretty, but signs are emerging that the selling is likely nearing its end. With such an event, I believe a new up leg is much more likely than further selling. And on this one, I would like to state, guys, I actually don't think that this was a bear market, but there's two ways to see it. One is that this was a bear market like we sometimes see in stocks where the bear market lasts, for example, 2 months or so before coming back upwards, or we're just going to see this as a big correction within a bull cycle. Then again, in the end, it doesn't really matter. We all know what is still in play. Plan B said $288,000 for Bitcoin is still in play. It would be a really big surprise to me if Bitcoin would not touch the black stock to flow FX model line this phase. Regardless of current volatility, yellow, green, and blue dots will be much higher than red, orange dots. Point being, guys, the stock to flow model, which you guys have most likely already seen a ton of times by now on my channel, it basically showcases where Bitcoin is going to go in due time. And one of the things which it basically points out is how whatever cycle you want to refer to, it can happen. You can have a bear cycle, but generally speaking, it looks like this, right? Another big leg upwards, going sideways / down within margin over a period of time before going back up in due time as well. And here you can see the bull market started here, right? We got a top. We saw a bear market, but again, if you look at it from the bigger picture and zoom out, it really doesn't feel that way. If you're really in it though, if you're doing this crypto stuff every single day, you notice it, but if you zoom out, you really don't. And here, the price actually halved. It went from 65,000 to right now about 35 or 37. Right now, again, almost 40. Yet, it doesn't really look that way if you look at it from a zoomed out perspective, right? A logarithmic perspective at that. Now, XRP lawsuit update. Here's the catch to SEC's willingness to comply with requests. I thought this article was rather interesting. The SEC, in its opposition to the motion, what we're referring to here is the motion to compel, which is basically the Ripple side saying they want some documents to be handed over. The SEC, in its opposition to the motion, however, has now claimed that the aforementioned demands are premature and moot. What's more is the SEC also asserted that the demand with respect to their internal trading policies has no relevance to the case. The SEC also went on to accuse defendants of not duly completing the meet and confer process and, quote, defendants filed the motion without completing the meet and confer process on those demands. If defendants had simply completed the meet and confer process, they would have spared the court's time. And so what the SEC is, in a funny way, doing right now is basically saying, Ripple, you have asked us some stuff, you gave us a date, we're not even there just quite yet, so why hurry? And you didn't go through the normal procedures, which you should have done. You did this, you did that, you did this, you did that. We have been given such a burden of so many documents. We can't do it that quickly. We have to review tens of thousands of documents. We have to pull some strings to get some phone communications from previous SEC members, yada, yada, yada. It's just a bunch of excuses, even though the judge prior said that they have to give it over. So whatever they've been putting up here last couple of days is all interesting from the perspective that they're trying their best not to hand it over, which of course makes us wonder, why not? Right? They're claiming privilege this, privilege that. Privilege is all. That all stuff doesn't matter anymore, as again, the judge has ordered it. So Ripple putting up a motion to compel because you're being too slow with all of this, I don't think is that odd. Then again, we don't have the exact specifics, obviously. Then again, what we're seeing here is that June 18th could be a really important date for all of it. Defendants' second demand that the SEC produce a privileged log of all internal documents by June 18th, while Ripple makes no similar commitment, should be denied. There is no basis for the court to order a one-sided deadline, and I personally would like to defend Ripple's side saying, well, if you have been ordered by the court to provide some sort of documents or some sort of things and you haven't done it twice, well, it's not that crazy that the party would like to just get a deadline for it because, well, you're taking forever. And again, there's a certain deadline there, right? I mean, for the whole discovery phase. And one important thing to also distinguish there is that the SEC requested some extension. They might now do this stuff also slowly as possible to make it so that Ripple also wants an extension because they couldn't look through everything quickly enough. And again, one thing I saw is a lot of people replied to my previous video in which I said that a settlement wouldn't be that unlikely. A lot of people said, Dusty, I don't think you're right. I think you're talking the same stupid stuff over and over again, and I don't think a settlement is coming. Let's do 2 steps back. One, the video was actually based upon new things, new lawsuit evidence that we saw from different lawsuits, and new SEC policy. That's one thing, so it's definitely not old crap. It's something completely new. Second of all, you know how much money it costs to get this stuff rolling? You know how much money Ripple's lawyers cost? They have freaking 25 of them or something like that. You know how much money that costs every single day? If you think they wouldn't settle, if it cost them, for example, $50 million to get it all behind everything, they would most likely do that. If they could just continue on, get partnerships from here forward, get XRP's proper status for $50 million, it's basically like buying yourself freedom, right? It's like, okay, you got to pay us, for example, 1%. Let's say it like that, like you are as an individual. You have a big business running, right? You. And the SEC comes up to you and says, you know what? Pay us 1% and you can continue on with everything you want to do. Or you can go through the entire process of proving you were wrong, which is going to cost you a lot of lawyer fees and, again, a risk of being wrong in the end. Even though you're right, you think. You might be wrong in the U.S. legal system. You never know how that's going to work. Now, of course, you'd take like, okay, never mind, I'll pay 1%. I don't give a... If it were to be me, I would instantly pay up to a certain amount if the conditions would be okay. And the conditions would basically mean either they don't have to admit guilt and they just have to pay a fine for doing a certain thing. They continue on with their operations and XRP's legal status is determined from now on forward. If that were to be the case, I don't think they would ever deny that, all right? That's, again, my opinion, though. There's no factual evidence to back it up, but that's what I'm thinking. Then here, it's kind of a backup to the previous article. SEC requests 2 more months to prepare internal documents on Bitcoin, Ether, and XRP. Not completely true. The title is a little bit misleading. The SEC will share its emails and internal documents related to Bitcoin by mid-August. They're actually just basically saying we want more time because we have to go over so freaking much stuff. Then again, they're not necessarily saying, hey, to be able to give this all to you, we need 2 extra months. No, the 2 extra months argument is actually completely aside, yet they do think it's unfair and they do think they have a really, really big burden. And I think it's kind of stupid, at least as of this point. And Elon Musk reveals when Tesla will resume allowing Bitcoin payments. We just read it. Once Bitcoin is clean enough, in his own words. And I think that was it. Guys, I wanted to record a little bit earlier, but man, the screaming outside was severe. I told you guys about it, right? About the football game that was going on. And on Twitter and in the Discord, I was just quickly chatting about it. People were screaming like crazy. When this goal happened just here, oh my days, was the screaming severe. So that was pretty damn funny. I, of course, enjoyed that a little bit to hear it all from so close. But yeah, hopefully you guys all enjoyed this tweet. I almost wanted to say this video. If you did, make sure you press the like button and subscribe. And I will definitely see you guys again in another crypto video later today.